Here is my recap for Dexter Season 7, Episode 8, which is entitled Argentina. All right, I'd like to thank everybody who has subscribed and liked my videos. Please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell if you haven't already. And please pass these videos on to people who are interested in watching Dexter and may not necessarily have the time to catch up on all 8 seasons before season 9, which is entitled New Blood, which does come out November 7th. All right, so this episode was entitled Argentina because of a story that Hannah told Dexter at the beginning of the episode, and he kind of reflects on this towards the end of the episode. This episode was all about relationships. We have Isaac, who is still going after Dexter and is so brazen that at the beginning of this episode, he tries to kill Dexter while Dexter is at a donut shop and starts shooting. It was like a drive-by shooting, and Dexter barely was able to get out of the way. Dexter then realizes he has to take Isaac out, so he goes to his house, and there's another assassin there who's also there to kill Isaac. And Dexter ends up having to slit his throat. The whole police department shows up. Isaac also shows up, and he knows Dexter did this because Dexter is after him. And at the very end of this episode, he actually meets up with Isaac at a gay bar, actually. You don't know that at first, but he's there to finally kill Isaac. And they have a conversation, and you find out that Isaac is actually gay, and he was always afraid the Brotherhood was going to kill him because of that. And that this guy, Victor, that Dexter killed in the first episode, who had killed that girl, was actually his well, he said he's more than just his lover. It was his companion, something that he will never have again. And they have this deep conversation there at the end of the episode. We also have Deborah, who is desperately trying to get Dexter to kill Hannah, and he won't do it. And he tries to put it in a way and tell her in a way that makes it seem like he's doing this on Deborah's behalf. Like he doesn't want her to have to live with the guilt of him killing someone. At the end, Deborah finds out about this, finds out he is actually sleeping with Hannah. She says, you know, what you told me was bullcrap. And he said, no, everything I told you was actually true. I did it for myself, and I also did it for you. It doesn't make what I said any less true. So that was kind of interesting. We had Dexter's kids, you know, you had Asher and Cody. They came in from the grandparents to be with Dexter and stay for the week. And he's at the beach at one point with them. And Hannah calls and says, you know, I don't have the key to get in my greenhouse. I know you have an extra key. Can I come pick it up? So he tells her he's at the beach. And she comes there and is able to see the kids. And she's like, you didn't want to tell me you had kids. Were you afraid, you know, that I was going to do something? Or did you just not want them to know about me? And he said, it's kind of a little bit of both. You can see he's easing up, and she would like to meet them at some point. So we also have LaGuerta, who is getting really close to finding out Dexter is the killer. In fact, I think in the very final scene of this episode, she goes to his slice of life boat after she did some investigation and finding out that he had moved his boat from another marina where they were doing an investigation on the Bay Harbor Butcher, you know, prior to this. And she has now put 2 and 2 together. And I think she is 100% sure now that Dexter is the killer. So we're going to see where that leads. We've got 4 episodes left in this season. There was a little bit with Quinn in this episode. The Brotherhood does have him under their thumb now. They had made a recording when he originally met for lunch, when he thought Naughty was going to show up, and it was the owner of the strip joint. And he recorded that whole conversation where he said, you're going to get rid of the blood. And that's when Quinn said, you know, I'll do this only if you give me her passport and make her free, which they did not do. And so he's really upset, and he's in his car kind of, you know, he's between a rock and a hard place at the end of this episode. So this entire episode was all about relationships all the way around. It's very interesting. We're going to see where this leads. We've got 4 episodes left in this season. And so I'll definitely be doing a recap on those coming up shortly. So look for the next one here very quickly. I do appreciate the support. Again, if you haven't done it already, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up. See you guys on the next recap.